every second I'm here, that's 1 second I've taken away from being with my child.
Honestly, I get it. My mom is dying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
Let me continue.
Never stop a woman to put a pin in it when she's telling you that she left her dying mother to be on a show. Yeah, I know, but please let me continue about how appalling Naked Dodgeball was that I didn't actually play.
That's too niche, a prohibitive category when we're talking about interrupting people. I think she could be talking about a parking ticket, and you shouldn't do what you just did. But she wasn't talking about a parking ticket. She's saying that her mother is dying. Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of Another Bachelor Podcast. My name's Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Patrick, the producer of the podcast, over there behind my glasses.
Great to be here.
Oh, that was a little twang you put on it. That was different. White Claw.
Thank you.
Filthy beverage. Pat, you got any PSAs before we get into this rousing episode of Another Bachelor Podcast?
Yes, I'm very excited for this episode.
Okay.
So I protested that it was my favorite episode of The Bachelorette ever on Facebook.
Yeah.
Which elicited some responses.
Facebook.com/Another Bachelor Podcast.
Apparently, some of the baby birdies
Nick, are you
in
okay?
there.
You're like Houdini in a straitjacket right now.
I think it could have went unsaid, but
Joe Coy merch right now?
I got new free Joe Coy merch, and I put it on backwards when I came back inside. Right. So,
Where to go support that man? He's a Filipino demigod. Go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, it stirred up some apparent controversy in there because I like the episode so much, and the episode did feature a man putting his hand around a lady's neck.
Oh, yikes.
Therefore,
great start, Pat.
Of course, that means that I'm condoning
oh my
sexual assault. Anyway, so that got me to thinking, hey, we got some new listeners coming here because
welcome.
The listeners are coming in, new people every week. So I just want to put this out there.
Yeah.
Here is your warning. We say offensive stuff on this show, okay? And it may be offensive. So if you're a little sensitive or you're easily triggered, get the fuck out of here. No, leave now. Leave now. Because if you do continue to listen and you're offended, it's on you now. I don't want you going into that Facebook, that iTunes and ratings and reviews.
Listen. I don't want to speak for the group because we may have differentiating opinions on this or just different opinions on it. But I think all of us condone sexual assault.
That's right, Dylan. But let me, all right,
Nick?
So let me read it.
I'm just sad that in this day and age, we have to explicitly say something like that. Of course we do. Of course we do.
But how
for the group.
But how do we feel about dogs? This is how sensitive our audience is. 1 star. This is by not many names left.
Is it because I called Claire's dog an ugly little rescue?
No,
Okay.
not quite as controversial. Apparently, one of you guys said that you should buy from a breeder and not.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to cause issues.
Such high hopes for this show, but it's never okay to buy a dog from a breeder.
All right.
Too many homeless dogs out there. 1 star. That's what we're up against, people.
We need your guys' help. You have helped us in the past. We have launched campaign after campaign to get us over 1,000, but now we need to continue to grow, to combat the people who do not know that it is okay to buy a dog from a breeder every once in a while. Treat yourself to a pet, not a burden.
You know what happens to dogs sold by breeders that don't get bought?
All right, we have to
bullets in their heads.
We have to move on to the show.
Can I do one more PSA, and I will keep it under 30 seconds.
Clock starts now.
Okay. Hey, all you cheapos out there, and there are, I'm not allowed to say how many people, but let's just say this. We'd fill up a fucking amphitheater with how many people listen to this goddamn show. Let me say this, you cheapos. It's time to buck up and start paying us for our talents and the stuff we're putting out there.
13 seconds.
I insist upon you going over to patreon.com/Another Podcast Network and subscribing and paying us $5. It's so easy to sign up. Over there, we have Love is Blind the entire season. We're doing Flavor of Love now. We have a bunch of PMCs where I break down what a bitch Leslie Mann is.
All right.
People love that episode. Get over there now.
3,
I want to see the numbers jump this week.
1.
Those last couple seconds were like when
Perfectly
Michael Jordan dunked at
timed.
the end of Space Jam.
Yeah. Convenient.
Watch someone leave us a review next week that says they take too long to get to the show. 1 star.
Hey, listen, I agree with you. I might leave that review. All right, so we have to get to a fan favorite segment that is thoughts and, it is called our general thoughts. That's where we talk about the show generally, and we give our rating system, which is a combination of roses, pots, pans, knots, passports, and
Petals.
the like. Nick, why don't you go first, seeing that Pat has spoken once again for another 10 minutes?
I'd like Pac to go first.
Really? Okay. Well,
You know what? I'll go first.
No.
I go for you've been talking
No,
forever.
Nick said I'll be brief.
All right.
Okay, this is possibly the greatest episode in Bachelor history. It's wonderful because of how subversive it is. It flies in the face of everything that the Bachelor or Bachelorette has been for 20 years. And
all right.
my opinion, it's gotten a little stale. And so I hate watch Claire. I love how horrible she is, and she is a terrible person. And I've said this before. This person is doing this with cameras around. Imagine what she's like to date with no cameras.
And if you're listening and you think, wow, that's a harsh accusation of just being a horrible person, wait for the commentary on this, because she's really starting to feel like she's the Bachelorette in this episode, and it's disgusting to watch.
Hey, is this your rating or mine?
Sorry.
Let me wrap up. We had the roast. Amazing. We had Kissgate. That was amazing.
What?
I can say with certainty now, Claire makes my skin crawly. 100 petals.
Nick?
Stupid move of me to let him go first because
he says everything you want to say.
It ended up stopping on what I was going to say, which was a compliment to him. Never more apt the nickname Claire makes my skin crawly than tonight. There were many times tonight she and the men on some occasions made me physically, the actual physical cringe. Oddly really enjoyed it. It's the shot in front we talk about a lot. 83
Nuts.
83 pots.
All right. So tonight we had on display what happens when someone who is ill fit to be the lead of a national hit TV show is the lead of a national hit TV show. Mm-hmm. Her interrogating a dozen men with a frozen smile was horrifying. So horrifying. The only thing more insane are some of these men who should be forcibly removed from society, I think. But the thing is, all of this, however sad and cringeworthy, it's a recipe for unbelievable television. Mm-hmm. And seriously, I think they're doing a fantastic job with what they have. They're sequestered in La Quinta. And these are the 3 best episodes in the history of the show. I give it 90 pots.
Well done. And just to bookend this overall, episodes have never flown by as quickly as these last 3 episodes.
So many fun things happen. Okay, so our first candidate for what should be some type of Minority Report type of policing is Yosef. Do you guys want to go over any of his preamble, or should we just get to him, quote, washing his hands of this atrocity?
I'd like to talk about motivation for dear Yosef.
Okay.
And also I'd like to say that 2 things can be true at once. He is a horrible person.
Oh, disgusting.
The person who he lets have it is also a horrible person.
Yes.
It was
wrong messenger.
Right.
Wrong messenger.
So motivation wise, I'm curious if he was going into this as a mutual destruction type of motivation, or a harikari, where he was going to take her out first and then put the sword through himself. Because there was no way. Could he have possibly thought, once he discussed this with her, that she would then be understanding?
I think he lost complete control. I think it was a tailspin. I think he had every intention of being cool, calm, collected, having a good conversation. I think his misogyny and his roid rage took over, and he lost his fucking mind. And some of the things that he said, I mean, he's right. Claire's not a great person and or bachelorette. She's a very troubled young woman. But when you start using words like appalled, atrocity,
he said that 3 times.
You have to just be branded a fucking lunatic, full-blown lunatic.
Absolutely.
There's a lot going on here with Yosef, and a lot that you guys said that I want to comment on. First, We had our differences of opinion off mic, and I'm sure we'll get to an arousing discussion later of the severity of Zac J's transgressions. There's no disagreement here. Yosef should be shackled and thrown in some type of solitary. He's the real American Psycho. We joke about it with
He's
Bennett.
going to hurt women.
He's going to hurt women.
Yeah.
I think what happened here tonight was he got drunk at this extended party. He got wound up by the guys who all thought he was a fucking douchebag.
Right.
And then he got way too far into it and he committed that
He lost his mind. He lost his fucking mind.
lost his fucking mind.
So can we get to him washing his hands of this atrocity?
I guess we'll break down the game film.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is it's a long clip, so I think we're going to start and stop a little bit. We'll punch in, punch out where we see we need to. Ready to go?
Let's do it.
We fast forward into the evening, and he basically said that
Loud waterfall.
like, you guys are here for me. Okay.
Oh, actually, I thought about
And
this in the moment
you're
that they did it on
100% correct.
purpose
We are
to
here for
Frank
you,
and bite
but-
easier.
Oh, right.
Like, you're here for us too.
Yeah.
Like it's
absolutely.
two-sided.
Okay, great start, right?
Not if you intend on staying.
She should have been like, get out.
I mean, it is true.
I want to get to a point. I gotta bite my tongue.
All right, let me say something about this.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, Yosef is a psychopath. Yeah. All right, but what if in another world he was being earnest here because he came here for the right reasons, had never seen the show, and now he's being asked to take off his clothes during a dodgeball game. He's like, I left a daughter to fall
He
in love.
wasn't, though.
Yeah.
He wasn't even on the date.
No, he wasn't.
Hypothetical.
I know. Isn't that wonderful?
Well, listen, anybody should say, I understand you. The best you can hope for is a final 6 on this show if you bring up this stuff. You can't approach the Bachelorette and say, that made me very uncomfortable, and remember, you're here for us too. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not going to go far.
Can I say one of the most really cringy moments of the JP season was when he told her she was a whore because she sucked his dick and his daughter was watching it.
Moment.
This guy used a similar device by bringing up his daughter. And
right.
He came here, and this would be embarrassing for his daughter to know that her father went on the show and was asked to take off his clothes to play dodgeball.
Every second he spends with Claire is a second he loses with his daughter.
That's right.
Chris Harrison actually said it better.
What an idiot.
Best a little later. This show exposes you. And
Yeah.
if you're a hypocrite in any way, people are going to find out. There's images on all the Facebook groups. He's doing underwear ads for pay just in boxer
Right.
briefs.
This guy.
Yeah, getting paid already. Just abs out, junk in your right in your grill.
Yeah.
It's pretty
The
ridiculous.
junk's in the grill of the viewer.
I mean, it's the center point of the photo.
That's
all the
it.
You
composition.
always go to the dick. You always go
No,
to the dick.
the photographer did. He did it with contour lines and angles.
I've sacrificed a lot to be here. I'm
Yeah.
missing out on time with my daughter,
Yeah.
and every second I'm here, that's 1 second I've taken away from being with my child.
Honestly, I get it. My mom is dying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
let
go
me
ahead.
continue.
Never stop a woman to put a pin in it when she's telling you that she left her dying mother to be on a show. Yeah, I know, but please let me continue about how appalling Naked Dodgeball was that I didn't actually play.
That's too niche, a prohibitive category when we're talking about interrupting people. I think she could be talking about a parking ticket, and you shouldn't do what you just did. But she wasn't talking about a parking ticket. She's saying that her mother is dying.
He is wrong in every way, but she's going to the dead dying mama well a little.
I totally understand.
Thank you. I found it really disrespectful. I really did. And it's been bugging me for the past 3 days. Like, it's been really eating me up. And I hate that this is the first time I've got to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Tinfoil cap. He's putting a lot of holes in the drywall at La Quinta. He's running the production budget up. They're like, you know what you should do? Go tell Claire she's a filthy bitch and you wouldn't want your daughter around her. Go do that.
That was scary. I felt like we had that thought at the
Really?
exact same moment. It was like it was in the air because I was just picturing for 3 days it was eating away at him. We know what that means. It means his knuckles are bloody.
Yeah. Bloody.
The second thing is...
Oh, there's a second? Fuck.
I was absolutely appalled
More holes.
The group date that occurred yesterday. There's naked guys, doing or playing dodgeball together. It's so humiliating and degrading, and I don't see how that really translates into finding a husband, like who's willing to strip down butt naked and play dodgeball.
Take it
It
easy.
seems very silly and very immature. And I feel like a lot of these guys, they're appeasing you. If I had been on that date, I sure as hell wouldn't have crossed that line. Not in a million years would I be caught dead doing that. All right?
Oh, boy. He's an over-explainer. That's what I hate about him.
My one critique, well, more like one of my 15 critiques of this this conversation or this monologue he delivers. Brevity is the soul of wit, young man.
Yes.
You went on for way too long. The music was playing like the last third of your speech.
There was we didn't see it, but I got some footage. There was literally a clown with a broom off the side.
You've been bringing him up a lot lately.
Like, if my daughter saw me doing that, if my family saw me doing that,
There you go with the daughter.
think of the thought that they would have. Think of the
Think
example
of the
that would be
thought
setting.
they would have.
That's why you were not on that date.
Okay, so there's a lot more stuff, but this is something that I wish she wouldn't do. I want her to. She seems to be entertaining this for some reason. I get that they have to stretch the moment out, that it's television, but I really wish for Claire, like I was rooting for Claire. I just want her to get up and say, then leave, and just not speak to him.
Yeah.
Just get up and leave.
Can I tell you, this is a component, and I don't have a degree, in
what?
psychology.
Got it.
All right. But if I can break down what's happening here with Claire is for the moment, she's absorbing this pain because she's actually, it's kind of hyper enjoying this. It's sociopathic, but she is
What?
waiting to unload on him. Claire,
She's
everything we've
enjoying
seen,
it.
she's enjoying the pain it's giving her as she's taking it in. She feels so little about herself, and I will get into my theories on what took place in her
Tough stuff.
childhood.
Tough stuff.
It ain't pretty. Is that she feels so worthless that this confirms how worthless she is at the moment.
All right. Jesus
look,
Christ, fucking Kafka. What the fuck? You're bumming everyone out.
I was so appalled. A completely classless display. I expected a lot more from the oldest Bachelorette that's ever been. And I can't believe that actually occurred. That's not the type of example I want set for my daughter.
While he's talking, at that moment, the only thing that's hung in her brain, in her craw,
How loud that waterfall was?
no, it's that he called her old.
Oh, yeah.
And that is stuck in her craw right now.
Yeah, as it should. I mean, it's one of the trigger words, and I understand it, but you're in a different ring now, and you're fighting a much heavier opponent. Claire has transformed into something that you cannot contend with, Yosef. You can't hit her. You're going to lose.
Especially, if she decides to stand up, it was actually like the art of war going on.
Yeah.
She kind of did make all the right moves. Like he cannot talk you down. Just keep talking.
Yeah.
He'll get tackled by some production if he keeps. If he stands over you, it's over. It's over.
Do we need to play it? I feel like we should play him trying to dominate her with his words and realizing he can't use his fist.
You're not setting the right example for my daughter. Like, I feel like I even have to explain now. I'm ashamed to be associated with you.
Yeah, he's losing
I can't believe
it.
I sacrificed
He almost said I'm a sociopath.
so much to be here.
He's losing
just
it.
to watch this distasteful and classless display. I'm serious. Like, so appalled.
He's
Going back
lost.
to
time he
the
said
first
he's
date,
He's lost
like
in it
you,
now. He's in quicksand. He can't figure out
overreacted.
where to go.
And honestly, it sounded a little crazy. It sounded like, why?
Old?
That sounded crazy.
Crazy.
What about me saying that I want guys who are here for me and not trying to bro out with each other and want to get...
See, this is where I'm like, baby girl,
You don't need to do this.
get up, babe. Just walk away from this asshole. Don't give him any fucking mind. Sadly, that's not the kind of person we're working with. And listen, there's a rainbow of human beings out there. But this one is a broken one, and she's going to be very, very hurt by this because it is kind of intense. Okay, wrapping it
For
up.
a husband. I'm looking for someone to love me. I'm looking for someone. I've listened to you this entire time.
No, stop.
Do not stop me. I've listened to you this entire time.
Like, seriously, I asked you.
I've listened to you for the last 20 minutes.
And I'm not done yet. I asked you.
You know what? You are done. Let me tell you something. The way you're talking to me right now, never in a million years.
Claire.
Listen to me.
Claire.
Listen to me.
No.
Never in a million years did I ever think I would have to utter these words again. Do not ever talk to me like that. I never thought I'd ever have to tell any man that I would never want them being the father of my child, and I stand by that. I would never want my children having a father like you. Get out of here.
Woo!
Get out of here.
Down goes Yosef.
I have a hot take conspiracy theory.
Hit us with it, babe.
Yosef.
But just mention that you're putting on a tinfoil cap before you do.
Okay.
Run TFC, Pat.
This guy lived in Florida in the late 1990s. He attended a club. He befriended a friend, a certain door guy, certain club promoter.
Okay, like where this is going.
He's best friends with Juan Pablo. He's here for his revenge.
Oh.
He's here to take her out. And himself.
Juan Pablo, before he gets on the plane, he goes, "Give her a besito for me." But it's a metaphor. Try to kill her.
Yosef is extremely unhinged. I just watched Law Abiding Citizen last night, and he's Gerard Butler.
Fantastic film. Fantastic
He's
film.
Gerard Butler.
How scary would it be to be paralyzed but feel everything and watch yourself be cut open limb from limb with a mirror right above your eyes?
That was Claire's fate if they didn't remove this man from the show.
Listen, Minority Report, get him out of civilization. He's going to hurt people.
All right. Yosef, I'll say this. Right now in Bachelor Nation, he's a piece of shit. This is the insane part of this. About 10 months from now, Chris Harrison will be inviting him on the beach and asking if he's ready for his journey for love.
That's not true. Not even this show.
I bet he.
No way.
I got 20.
Yosef,
I got 20.
You had what would be considered a troubling season on Claire's. Are you ready to now get over the waves and get on that beach and find your one true love? Yeah. Yes, Chris.
It's just screenshots of him DMing, like, and it's blurred out, just like.
and then Chris goes, "How's your daughter?" All right. So I feel horrible for Claire.
Yep.
She's really, really hurt by this. I wish she was the kind of person who could just brush this off better. But fortunately for her, the dumb hero of our tale comes to the rescue. Dale, who is not on this date, enters from stage left. Svengalis, are you even trying to prevent this thing from happening? This is a slow-moving coup that they're just seemingly allowing to happen. Or I was thinking this could be an arranged marriage because they're sick of Claire. Because if it's not that, these people are all going to be killed. I don't know what they're doing. Not trying to stop this. He's walking in from stage left. He's not on the date.
One last note on this interaction with Yosef. How blindsided was Claire? She's the Bachelorette. This is where you basically just kiss her ass.
Right.
Was she at some point when he's settling his hash with her, like looking up at the clouds and going, like, Rachel Lindsay didn't have to take this shit. This is my fucking second day.
No, I think she was like, is this guy going to punch me in the face? Okay, so I am going to continue with this threat of murder from Mickey bit and say that I think that Shitface is starting to get pretty scared for his life. He sits down with Claire, and you can hear it in his voice. He's playing it cool, but he knows that he's going to get his throat slit.
I heard the exact same thing.
Well, that's the great part about this. You're going to find a guy who will, like, protect you, be that person that would never let somebody speak to you like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you've already found him, huh?
Yeah.
You had another good night with Dale, I hear.
Totally. I can't help it. It's so
I know you can.
Go gel your hair and fix this.
I was sensing, honestly, panic, like, how are we gonna get rid of her if she's not following the script? It always falls on him. He knows it in this moment, and I think this is when the walkout talk happens. I don't know how it goes, but he's like, "This is their workaround."
Yeah, this is not going to go well for you.
Hey, can we back up for a second though? Right after Dale comforts her, when that took place, that was the clarification of the official end of, or the beginning of Claire's journey for love with Dale.
Sure.
She ran to him, and that was such a comfort for her because this guy just shook her up so much. Any thoughts in the back of her head at this point that she was going to fake her way through 3 or 4 more weeks with these guys going on dates or whatever, that was thrown out the window. Now, can I play a clip of Claire? I think she's talking to the camera, or maybe Harrison.
I just want so much more time with you. So much more time.
We'll figure it out, okay?
Dale, it's everything that I'm looking for. Everything that I want that I can't put words with. Things you can't explain, like he shows up and he has it and he's that way.
Well, you know I'm here, okay?
Yeah, I can't believe it's not even the second rose ceremony yet. And I'm so falling in love with Dale.
All jokes aside,
it took you forever to find that.
hey, Claire, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. You have a lifetime of falling for dudes too fast, and here we go again.
I thought what you were saying was kind of beautiful.
We see what's coming from a million miles away. It's just insane that she cannot.
Yeah. She's hopeful. She's naive. She's optimistic.
Claire,
not a good place.
Dale is a Halloween costume model.
A former big man on campus.
He usually just tells people model in his defense.
That's all you need to say. You don't want to overcomplicate things by talking about your contracts with Party City and
Those photos look ridiculous, by the way.
Move on to politics at the dinner party. All right. So, yes, she and Chris talk about it. Claire says that because of the yelling and how the yelling made her feel, and Dale, I think I just want to get to the roses. And that is just what we will do. Pat?
Oh, you want a roll call of who's staying?
I want you to get ready. Are you fact checking?
Yes.
Because he's been dog shit with these roll calls.
Let me tell you something. And by the way,
Dog
you idiots
shit.
out there, you birdies out there that are attacking me on Facebook. Hey, Pat, your roll call on the first episode fell a little short. Hey, fuck you. She's spending 90% of the show with Dale. I don't even know who these fucking guys are. It's the third episode. I'm staring at him like, oh, that guy's on the show. I don't even know who he is. How dare you?
Yeah. Well,
Devil's advocate, in this moment, she does list them.
yeah.
Right. Okay. So what are you saying? I got to get the names right? All right, here's the roll call. Hit
Saying
the
that just
music.
baked into the show, they say all the names.
Here's who stays. Dale, no duh. Dale, can't stop looking at those fucking ears. Zac J, who cares? DeMar, the Soul Cycle instructor. Those guys fuck everything. Brandon, who cares? Jordan, who cares? Joe, he's the Asian that looks like he's a big fan of sake because his face is bloated like a fucking trunk. Jay, fitness
They
instructor.
don't drink
Also
sake.
an occupation where guys massively close ass. Holy shit. Gay Superman who will kill somebody someday, or a runaway or something like that. Anyway, that was a joke later brought up in the roast, but I did it first. Okay, easy. The journalist who lives in North Hollywood and also works out of North Hollywood. I don't think he's a journalist. Okay, anyway, Ben, his head looks weird. Ed looks like Central Casting cast a meathead at a club. He looks just like that. Ivan, who cares? Kenny, he's a good looking guy. Zach and Jay, I don't know who. Zac J. Yeah. That's it. Oh, can I say who goes home?
One thing I wanted to say, maybe my favorite part of the roll call is when you said that Bennett was going to kill a person or a runaway. Go on.
Okay. Here's who goes home. The dude who let his gray hair show. Should have brought a few boxes of that just for men. Claire likes young guys, you dummy.
Yummy.
Dude with the boy band hair from 1998.
No, he's still around.
No, the guy.
boy band hair. That's
Boy band
right.
hair.
Excuse me.
And I just want to bring up this point, and you guys, you should use this because it's a great theory. When you see a dude's hair and his clothing style, and he's a little bit of a certain age, take a look at that. That is the best year he had closing ass with puss.
Got it.
Because he
He's
said
locked
this
in it.
worked.
Right.
So I'm taking this into my 50s. That's where you get a 50-year-old man with bleach blonde hair
my God.
And those
That's
bedazzled
brilliant.
jeans.
Solid
brilliant.
theory.
Thank you.
All right. So,
a black guy also got kicked out.
got
too.
it. So, anyways, Jason at one point says that he's blown away at how fast his feelings are growing for Claire. You're lucky this season is an avalanche of insanity because what you just said, it'll get swept under the rug, but that's really fucking sad. I mean, she's obviously hates all of you. Like, she really resents all of you. You're falling in love with her?
Dylan, this is something. It's not that good. It's not that creative. But I've dubbed this type of talk on TV talk.
Yes, it is absolutely
It is strictly
TV
there
talk.
because the cameras are there and you want to get some camera time, and then you have to fawn over how much you're thinking about Claire,
Yep.
despite the fact she spent 0 time with you. And obviously, if you have 2 eyes and a functioning brain,
Half functioning, yeah.
She is fucking Dale, and she wants nothing to do with it.
Dickmatized, as Pat would say.
Yes.
All right, let's get to... Oh, excuse me. Dale toasts to strength. Then we get to the next day.
One little fun fact, or one little thing that gets.
Yeah, you got. Hey, that's bad hosting.
No, it's okay. You're
That's
doing a great
bad
job.
hosting.
You're doing a great job. Dale drops that he's got 4 sisters. I thought this was interesting because it gave some insight into how well he can manipulate women. He had 4 sisters. He's listening to them, hearing what they're
got
thinking.
it. Yeah,
a guy
yeah.
who's brought up, like an only child, has no idea how
A
women
little bit
think.
more autistic when it comes to...
Yeah, despite the fact that he cannot string together a sentence that makes any sense.
No. I'll bring it up later, but it's really concerning stuff coming out of his mouth. And also, a little red flag for me. She goes, Claire, when he's comforting her, she says, God, I want to spend so much more time with you. And he said, we'll work it out. It's not quite there all the way from him, I don't think.
I thought that was a decent answer.
No, I don't know.
We'll work it out. You just stumbled back in.
All right, so
I actually think his 4 sisters have nothing to do with his ability to manipulate women. It is more his big man on campus of South Dakota State University and his athletic prowess that's leading him through it.
Yep.
And also,
it breeds a self of hot false confidence that he has.
Yes.
And also-
with those fucking ears.
he toasted to strength.
Yeah.
And even though all these guys fucking hate his guts, they all gave a rousing cheers because they all love lifting weights.
Yeah,
They love strength.
He's not a fan of strength. He's not a fan of strength. All right, so let's get to the next day.
Next day.
This pool might as well be above ground. Should we talk about Dale's protective side? Great, so let's get to Chasen, who has a pretty good idea of what Claire has in store for them next.
I think she's just going to continue to test and challenge us. That's going to involve just getting more quality time so we can reveal more of ourselves to her.
Thank you. What the fuck?
They're trying. You know what?
They are trying.
I have to say this, just in general about the guys. I saw in the Facebook group, the Birdies, they think these guys are pretty pathetic. I will say they are, and they always are. But Claire is treating them so horribly, and not yet. We'll see how horribly she treats them. She's actually got me feeling bad for some of them.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And I think, honestly, if you just A to B some of the other years, they're cream of the crop. They're no prize ponies, but I like Riley. I like Ben. I like Bennett's hilarious.
They're okay. Yeah, we haven't really gotten enough time with them yet to make a call because it's just been so focused on.
I think they're better than most years.
But can you imagine? All right. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but waiting for 5 hours for a date that never shows. Keep in mind, they don't allow these guys with their phones, and there's no TVs. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yourself. But we got a day card, Pat. Who do we got?
All right. First off, before we get the date card, Harrison comes in, and I love this piece of shit. He puts a spin on what took place last night. We learn a lot about ourselves and going through this process. Chris, Yosef called her an old bitch.
Yeah, it's a magical ability to spin, almost like the kind that Sean Hannity has. No politics.
No politics.
All right, so Claire is journaling. She keeps saying Dale's name. It's like a seance for an alive person. And then A girlfriend comes over. Who is this?
Deanna. I don't remember her. This was probably the space where I didn't have a girlfriend or a wife, and I was not tuning into The Bachelor or Bachelorette.
All right. Well, this random person tells Claire that she's never seen her smile like this.
Botox.
It's a chemicals.
This was the only part of the episode that was no pun intended filler. But one thing I did glean that even though Deanna appeared 13 years ago, she's actually younger than Claire by 8 months.
Oh, no.
Her birthday is November 20th, 1981, and Claire was born on March 20th, 1981.
Yeah, and by the way, for you
That
guys
is
ready to get
so
offended out there,
brutal.
shut the fuck up. We're just bringing it. She was on here 13 years later.
So sad.
All right, let me say a couple things. You guys think this was filler. I do not. There was a lot of stuff that came out of here.
Okay.
One is Claire brings up when she's talking to Deanna how she's always having to stand up for herself all her life. Okay. We saw her family on Juan Pablo's sister. She's got a bunch of sisters and a
those
mother.
possums.
The possums in the backyard in
Yeah.
that shitty town in Sacramento.
Yeah, that naked drunk neighbor that came bashing through the fence.
She loved her father. Remember, we're still waiting to see that DVD. I'm wondering if Dale has seen it yet. That he left on his deathbed for her.
Hey, girl.
The way Claire talks, this seems like a good family. A good family that would have you go on to then date good guys, not a litany of decades of dating guys who aren't serious or physically abusive. Somehow she's attracted to this because that's what she's saying, kind of in like she's had. What do you have to stand up to, Claire?
Right.
Unless you're saying basically the world in your head.
We'll get to the Zac J thing, but I think Claire got fucked up. I think Claire got hurt.
Something bad happened, and we are not making light of that, but we are saying
horrifying.
that the Bachelor franchise cast a Bachelorette that I think is probably the most kind of troubled.
Listen.
They should have seen this coming a mile away.
Who's to say anybody belongs on television, really? But
some of the crazier people are the best.
Yeah. I'm not saying that she's crazy, but I do think that, and don't we all need to sit down with a therapist? But Claire's got some sad stuff.
And I don't think she's done the work. I did men's group therapy for 2 years to clean up my shit. It helped out a lot.
What is that, like a euphemism for one of those sex dungeons you used to go to?
No, I didn't want to go in with just a one-on-one therapist. I insisted upon going in with a group of guys so I could basically not manipulate the therapist.
Oh, that's how confident you were?
No, it was more just I usually start dissecting the psyche of my therapist, and then I go, "You're a piece of shit. How are you here trying to fix my problems? You're talking about a wife that was paraplegic and you were cheating on." Sorry, giving away too much.
Instead of Pat manipulating one person one-on-one who has a degree, possibly a doctorate, he manipulated 7 to 11 other men in a room that were his peers to lessers.
Got it.
Fair enough. All right. And then I also thought it was interesting that Claire has a fascination with Dale's pants, and she, in fact, is a collector.
Yeah.
And she's keeping his pants and smelling them.
Yeah, so there's really good editing here as we cut from the guy's optimism of Claire coming out, spending the day with them. I think they're on like hour and a half now. It's not that long of a wait. And then, they cut back to Claire smelling Dale's pants, where the part where the balls go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She likes that.
Yeah.
Hey, can I drop a personal story? I want to see what the birdies, the female ones, have to say about this, because I thought this is an odd behavior of females. They're generally not collectors. They are people that leave shit for people they like.
Calling collectors.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is this word?
I keep thinking of the bone collector.
Yeah.
So when I was single for about a 3-year stint there, forgive me, but I was single and I was dating a lot of ladies, maybe going on multiple dates, and we were having sex, and they'd sleep over. They'd always leave a little something behind, a fucking earring, a piece of clothing. One girl even stuffed her sweater under my passenger seat. And what is this, ladies? Are they doing that so that they can then call, if I'm not calling them, to say, "Oh, I left my sweater in your car," or "I left my earring in your on your desktop," or something?
That's part of it, but it's more a dog pissing and marking their territory. So if another girl comes over, she gets super pissed. I saw a hilarious TikTok about it in the one part of the night when I
Was
have
it
to
a
watch
Latin
them.
guy getting caught for stuff?
No, it was a girl laying in a guy's arms, and like the second he was finally asleep, she was like, "Okay," and she laid a bobby pin on the couch and an eyelash on the sink, and it was a very quick montage. Good stuff, and that's what they do. They're marking their territory.
Birdies, you get in that Facebook group and start a thread on this. I'm curious.
Thank you, China. All right. While Claire and her friend are doing dick whippets, the guys are waiting for hours and hours and hours. And then Claire comes in and cancels the date. How much you lose on that one, Mickey? Hope you didn't bring bumper cars to La Quinta. Jesus, can you imagine getting an entire date set up? The production that goes into that. All of the rigmarole, and then Claire's just like, yeah, I was in the room and I was just smelling Dale's pants, the part where his balls are. I don't want to do it anymore. And then the girl's like, she doesn't want to do it anymore.
TFC, but like Claire likes to think she has all this power, and she's like, oh, I decided. I think she's being manipulated every step of the way, and they're like, I don't know. We're not bringing bumper cars out to La Quinta.
Love that.
Let's just say no date. Let's go right to extended night date.
They're like,
Claire, you know what? We kind of see what's going on. Why don't you get one-on-one time? Because you're never going to get to know these guys.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's genius. My idea.
I want to say this. In the trailer, we saw that they actually create an actual amusement park in this resort, and it was at like a nighttime with a fucking Ferris wheel. We know, based on the trailer, Claire's out next week. Were they showing us footage, those bastards, of Tayshia's continuation of this season and having fun on a goddamn Ferris wheel?
Yeah.
If so, if you guys are talking about bumper cars coming out, then they did actually hold back. And then when Tayshia came in, they're like, all right, this is the money. Let's invest.
We know you're non-committal and you're insane. America doesn't want to watch you for more than 4 weeks. It'll be too sad. So what we're going to do, roast battle is going to be the most expensive date we've got. The rest is going to be flashcards. We'll do various games like charades, Pictionary, stuff like that. Really get to know
They
one
should play
another.
the Feud. Family Feud's fun.
Maybe a day we got a golf course here. Maybe we can stretch something out with that.
Yeah. All right. So.
Oh, well, I want to talk about Claire a little bit here and doing this.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, the fact that she did do this to these guys, I get it. They're on TV. They're staying at a resort.
Yeah.
But and again, I don't think they really care about Claire. I think they care about being on TV.
But I think they were pretty pissed off.
The worst thing you can do to somebody, I always say, is make them wait. And especially emotionally wait. Keep them hostage.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks. They getting all insecure. And when she came in and canceled it, it didn't seem like she had any real...
She's aloof.
She's aloof about it.
Completely detached from the consequences they suffer for her selfishness.
It was completely rude. And it says something to her character. I understand these are weird circumstances, but I'll go back to, again, this is what she does when the cameras are rolling and people are kind of waiting on her. This is how she behaves in her real life, but worse. Anyway, I'm a broken record.
All right, let's get to the night date.
Night date, cocktail date.
Easy says that he's looking forward to a lot of quality time. And Jay says that him winning the group date rose would be huge for him. Nick, laugh.
I don't know.
What are you all chirpy for?
I don't know.
They sit down and Dale takes the mic. Let's listen in.
Cheers to spending quality time together.
Cheers to that. I don't know, like...
Hey, pause it. By the way, here's my definition of quality time. I'm going to take the guy I'm actually really into and we're going to dry hump for an hour.
Yeah. I'm going to reach into his pants, jerk him off a tiny bit. Pre-cum, it'll spook me out a little bit.
Go to Webster. That's the exact definition of quality time. That's the exact definition.
There's a lot of people that want quality time tonight and everything. With everything that went on last night, just personally, there's a few things with that. So, like, if I can speak with Claire first, even if it's for 5 minutes, I would greatly appreciate that. And this was nothing to try to, like, jump the gun. So, but I want to be just respectful of everyone, because I know that's been a reoccurring thing, and I don't take that lightly.
Let's go.
Let's do this thing.
Right.
Oh, and we got to get a group hug.
Group hug.
Yeah, we need some love.
He's pretty manipulative. I'll give him that. I mean, he's trouncing all over these guys. You say it's bro love.
Is it manipulation or is it just dumb confidence?
Forgive me, did he initiate the group hug?
Yes.
That's his way of, we're bonding. I'm not going to fuck you over. And even if I do, we still held each other.
No, I don't think it's that.
I felt like it was spiking the ball in their face. like, hey, no hard feelings on my side. She's all over my dick, but I didn't do it.
I'll see you in an hour when you can smell her on my finger.
All right, Jesus fucking Christ. Dale heads over to Claire's hotel room. She shows him around the place like he's a male whore. You know what I mean? Seriously.
This is where you'll wash your balls after completing the service.
She's like, so this is my bedroom, and he just stands there with his arm on the rafter, and it's just like the both of them really want to start just hammering away at one another.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You're creeping me out.
I am?
Yep.
Sorry.
That was his move when he got access to a sophomore's dormitory at SDSU. Just arm on the rafter.
Arm on the rafter.
And then he would eventually get ravaged by this poor woman. Because he was, again, big man on campus.
Yes. Check out the square footage. Not a lot of talking. Just get to what you're good at, Dale. They can't see your ears. All right. So Joe, the Asian guy, walks in with a date card. This is a little meanwhile. Jordan C. says that he's still in the running for the one-on-one. Nick, laugh. In a usual suspects kind of twist, though, it's Zac J's name on the card. We'll get to him and all that assault soon enough. But let's get back to Dale and Claire hammering away at one another. So there's this guy named Ed who looks like flashback Luca Brasi. You know, like an up-and-coming 20-year-old Luca Brasi? Mm-hmm. What is this guy doing here? How did he get through the turnstiles of casting? It's shocking.
It's a great question that will cause me to lose sleep tonight.
He goes, it's been a while, right? They're like, it's been 45 minutes. And he goes, I don't know. Should we start a search party for Claire or something? I don't know what we should do. And again, I was like, how'd you get through the turnstile? All right. Easy is the one brave soul to venture out into the badlands of La Quinta to go find her. And he does.
While he's knocking at the door, they're joking about hiding him in the closet.
Yes.
Well, I have one word for that. 2 syllables. Classless.
All right, Yosef. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he is leaving the suite, and he says, I think I'm going to catch a lot of heat for this.
Oh, can we play the clip?
I should put this on probably.
Oh, I'm going to catch so much riff for this. I didn't expect it to.
Why? Why? All right, beat me here. Because you're a fucking rude Claire.
Whoa!
You make my skin crawly.
All right. So
no, hold on.
Okay.
Why? That very question that is posed. You have 7 or 6 guys, wherever the fuck it is, out there waiting to talk to you.
Yeah.
You've been through this process, Claire. It's not pleasant.
Is it stupidity or is it just she doesn't?
She has no empathy for other people, and I didn't really catch that with her. I do know on her season on Juan Pablo, which, by the way, if you really want to see the insight on Claire Crawley, Claire makes my skin crawly, you need to sign up for patreon.com/Another Podcast Network and hear the entire season and us trash her on that season. Get over there right now. Sorry, this is my second plug.
It was behind a paywall, so we were a little bit more free with our tongues.
You betcha. If you think we're rude and misogynist pigs here, whoa.
That's a great advertisement.
Thanks. I think she is falling into horrible person territory for me. Like real. Like if Nick books her on the show in 6 months,
we'd love to have her.
No, I don't even want her. I'm at that level. I think she's that broken and such a horrible person. To not think of other people and just self-indulge yourself. And then in your mind, and I know what she's thinking in her fucking dinosaur brain, she's thinking, I deserve this. I deserve love. Oh, so then you can basically disregard other human beings? I hate her.
Hey, that was a particularly loud Apache, wasn't it?
You better hope we finish the season before that war starts with China.
It's the end of the 4th turning, everybody. Good luck next week. All right.
We're going to war with China before Pat turns down
the
Claire
appearance from
Crawley
Claire.
in our studio.
All right, so Dale comes back and addresses the guys.
Oh, is that what he did?
Yeah, this kid is a fucking star. I mean, there's no two ways to say it. Let's take a little listen.
I was trying to like walk out, like leave a little bit early, like, but we were just like, dude, dying. Yeah, it was just funny.
Can I give an analogy of this with a very quick personal story? In the 5th grade, my lunch came in the lunch line of elementary school. Kevin Sozik, while I turned my head, ate my entire pizza, my slice of pizza. And I said, "You piece of shit, you just ate my lunch." And he said, "It's gone." That's what he did here. What are you going to do?
There was nothing I hated more than don't touch my food at lunch. That was like, I love.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm telling you, one time I came back to my seat and someone had put mustard, knowing how much I hated mustard, all over my chicken tenders, untouched chicken tenders. And Tim Holland was sitting right across from me, and Tim didn't give a fuck. Like he was really tough, and I was like, "Did you do this?" He just like didn't say anything, and I just flipped my entire tray, and it went all over him. And he didn't do it originally.
Yeah,
I was going to say that's how you teach them not to do that.
Yeah. Tim and I are tight though. I'm going to his wedding next year. I got postponed because of COVID.
It's a funny story.
Navy SEAL
Chicken tenders.
I was
Navy SEAL.
we were sitting down at the lunch table senior year, and went behind my friend Austin. I punched him in the arm. And he looked at me, and he was like, "Did you do that?" And I pointed to my friend Heaps. And Austin got up. He was talking to somebody across the table, and Austin donkey kicked him in the spine. He got the wind knocked out of him. He hit the ground. He said, "What the fuck do you do that for?" I said, "Austin, I hit you."
You know what? I thought that was going to end with him paralyzed. A really sad, tragic story. So that was funny.
All right. So did he used to do like ketamine or something? I don't know what's wrong with his word factory. All right. So Claire tells the producers to hurry this whole thing along. It's at this point where she starts getting a little too high on her own shit.
This was speed dating. That's what I think this is similar to what that was. Like, we got to rush this along. I only got about, 35 minutes on the clock because I was dry humping Dale for 2 hours.
Yeah, and what now? You have to go to sleep at 10 o'clock? Claire, you were dry humping him for 2 hours. Why don't we bump the shoot back to 11 o'clock, let's say? This is really on display when Riley walks in on Ed, Luca Brazzi. Ed says, "Can I get a few minutes? I really need this time." And Claire says, "That's okay. It looks like you eat cold cuts all the time, so I'm just going to have to sit down with Riley real quick, speed this whole thing up." So Dale gets back to the guys and again does a marvelous performance with monologue. He delivers his alibi, and I think the thing we should take from this is how far the status of a politician has fallen.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, brother?
Yo,
What it do?
my bad. I didn't even know. I was kind of dazed and confused and lost a little bit.
What kind of answer is that? You sat here with the band of brothers talk in the beginning.
No,
and then went back.
I got up and went to the bathroom, and then then I came out and then on the way out, I was like, "What's everyone doing?" And then
I can see the bathroom from here. What's everyone doing?
yeah, dude, I was standing right there.
You're like, "Where's Claire?"
Yeah,
And so then you went
then I
back
thought she
and
was
then
in the-
continue what? Just get to it. Stop being a politician and get to it, man.
I'm not being a politician and get to it,
I will say this.
I had no had no knowledge of what, and then
nice
I
Sands
came
waterfall.
out, and I was like, "Where's everyone else at? Like, what's the deal?"
He delivers this briefcase of bullshit with the confidence of a person that knows they've already won a game show where the prize is a 39-year-old hairstylist from Sacramento.
Oh, what a horrible game show.
I'd say.
There's no way it could possibly be one of the biggest networks in the world, number one moneymaker.
I'm trying to think of the name for the show. Like the luggage rack. Something like that. Okay, so Claire heads back. There's a rose on the table. She looks around, fakes a bunch of these poor fuckers out, and says, Dale, thank you for stepping up and being bold. You thick piece of fucking dick.
Well,
excuse me.
Well, you forgot this got cut out. But it was really quiet. But she kind of whispered. She said, "And giving me an orgasm, which is no small feat, accomplished by dry humping."
So let's
Thanks,
get
Dale.
to the best man suited portion of the evening. This is Dale saying this to the guys when he gets back, and he's got the rose on his shirt. I'm not sure what he says exactly, but it doesn't matter because I want to get to Boy Wonderlick's reaction more than anything.
The fact that he thinks he's better than all of us, you. Don't tell us that you're a band of brothers and we're all gonna be respectful and you just like, you go in the room and you get lost and you're like, Jay, I'm sorry, dude, I didn't know where I was. He's not better than all of us. And I don't get like this. I'm not an emotional person. I don't get mad. I do not get mad like this.
Would you believe it? The second lowest score in NFL history on the Wonderlick.
I am starting to believe he cheated to get that 5.
All right, so next day. She heads over to take Zac J.
Call him Zac the janitor.
Okay. She takes him on a date. She says that his nervous energy freaks her out. And she wishes, in a Usual Suspects type twist, that Dale was there.
I look, I don't want to say that she'd want someone to die, but I bet in her head she was thinking, God, I wish Zac got taken out by fucking COVID so I could get by Dale.
You need to stop.
It's crazy how much... I wonder if Usual Suspects understands how applicable it is to this season of The Bachelorette.
It's unbelievable. So this whole thing is really weird. He seems like a decent enough guy here during this mani-pedi date, and not like a weird abusive type. But let's get to front flips and kisses in the pool. Should we play a little and then all start cringing in our cars?
What? Oh.
No, why did you stop? What are you doing? I was right there. Wait, hold on. Why did you stop?
Let's get ready for dinner.
No, what happened?
Kathy, hold on. Let's get ready for dinner.
Claire leaned in to kiss me, and maybe she was as far as she could lean, and she thought I was trying not to, but absolutely not.
How come you stopped?
Let's just get ready for dinner.
Oh. What happened?
Nothing. Nothing happened. I didn't stop.
I know, that's right. I was right there.
It's okay.
No, I was right.
It's okay. It's fine.
No.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna go inside. Come here, honey. Come on.
Okay. I hope the audio does it justice. Everybody watched it. I assume everybody had some takeaways from it.
The audio could be counterproductive to my case, at least, because it sounds like a nice thing, like a not that bad thing. But if you actually saw it and you see what happened the way I think it happened, and you have his nice voice like that on top of it, it's even fucking weirder. This thing was fucking weird.
May I break down the game film?
Yes.
Okay. We all saw it, but just for clarity's sake, when we all have our opinions on it, we can explain what happens. So I believe as they're stepping out of the pool and she says, we're going to have dinner. And he says, great. She turns around. And this is the odd thing. I think she admitted that she was attempting to go for a kiss.
She was attempting to go for a kiss. He was doing a thing where he was like, oh, I'm going to hold off a little bit and then go in and kiss her.
And it is literally just milliseconds in this interaction that take place.
It's short.
She steps away, turns away, and instead of touching her side and saying, hey, I'm sorry, the hand immediately goes around the back of her neck.
Wasn't it already
front
there?
Of her neck. No.
Because as she came in, he put his hand up.
The point is
Nick likes choking, so I think that's why
But that's between two adults mutually agreeing to choke one another. So here's where the weird thing is.
Or just like a light experiment, and it's like exposure therapy, a little bit more, until they say no, Pat.
So let's watch it, and then we'll go back to the podcast.
I think this guy. Well, I'm not saying anything about the physical touch, but the first thing, I think this guy is so awkward. He's like, I don't want to touch her so much. He was just waiting to receive the kiss the whole time. She was expecting to meet halfway. Thought she got shut down. He turned. He was like, no, let me kiss you. Like I wasn't trying to shut you down. And John Cena fucking doesn't know his own strength. This guy has no malintent. I don't think he's ever laid his hands on a woman. I think this guy is nice. I honestly do not. Is this the prevailing sentiment? Your side? Like, I haven't really seen any chatter about it.
It's not Yosef aggression.
Yosef is a psycho. He should be put down. I agree.
It's weirder aggression to me. Like he was too strong. He was being way too forceful with her because he grabs her again when they're by the door. This whole moment was super bizarre to me that he was doing what he was doing to her. It obviously made her so uncomfortable that she sent him home, and I don't blame her.
All right, so let me say this. I'm not going to be devil's advocate for him because I know full well that touching anybody, male or female's neck, is a show of dominance.
And you don't know her.
You don't know her. Now we just watched the game.
She just leaned in for a kiss. There was a miscommunication, so he was trying to show that he did want to kiss her.
So in my brain, this is how different, like why people aren't good witnesses in court cases. Is my memory is that he grabbed her on the back of the neck. We just rewatched it, and he in fact has his backhand on the railing, and his front hand goes up
on her throat.
On her throat. Yes.
As it was going to kiss, she leaned in.
He
put it in to kiss her. That would have been like how you kiss someone. She pulled out. He put his hand there, be like, "No, I did want to kiss you." And he's literally like this stupid, weird, timid Hulk dude. And he like put. I just it's and like.
Maybe this is why people are bad witnesses.
Dylan, I agree with you because I know full well that putting your hand on anybody's neck, a man or a woman, that is a show of dominance, and it can trigger people that have been in bad abusive relationships. I believe 100% that's what Claire her takeaway was with this.
Yes.
Do we know that was 100% his intent? Could we, in a world where we give people a little bit of credit that was not their intent? It could be interpreted the way that he is a guy who's probably done this before and it's disrespectful and scary.
He's got weird aggressive energy.
It could be a guy who's got 3 cameras around him. They just tried to kiss. He may have grabbed for her chest and wanted to grab her cheek and say, he doesn't know what we're seeing, which is she doesn't want any part of you. She's into another guy. And he's thinking, well, she went in for a kiss and maybe I disrespected her. And now I'm like, all I'm saying is we can all freak out about this, but could we have the take that maybe give this guy the credit, at least here, that was not his intent? That's all I'm saying.
Chris comes out, tells him that he is going to be summarily terminated from this La Ventura. And he kind of just short circuits a little bit more and then leaves our show.
Because sweet Zac J couldn't believe he was railroaded like this, but like a gentleman, he walked out without objection.
So yeah, let's turn the page to lighter topics.
Margaret Cho.
Yeah, we'll poke fun at the irrelevancy of Margaret Cho. So Joe talks. I think it's one of the few times he's spoken. He says that I'm Korean American, so I know who Margaret Cho is.
Oh, he's already heating up the room.
I actually felt really proud for Joe in this moment. I know we've all been rooting for him all season. He's probably, I would say, the dark horse behind Dale, probably number 2. We can all agree on that.
Yeah. But there is no number 2.
Yeah. And that being said, even though he's not going to win, being number 2, he got to meet his hero. So just a proud moment.
All right. So the guys are thrilled that Dale is not there. But at this point, I think Mickey's leaning in here. So believe it or not, Dale is coming to watch the show. The event is sponsored by Black Tux. They all get into their tuxedos, and now we can get to the highlights of the roast. I mean, are these guys comedians or what?
Impressive showing by a lot of the men. Incredible, a lot of good speakers. Ben included a second time he showed to be a very good public speaker. And swing and a miss not calling this the roast ceremony.
Let me say this. I believe Claire might have felt this, that there were probably some writers to help smash Dale up, because these guys, I don't think they wrote some of those jokes. They were articulated pretty well, specifically the ones that were geared towards good old Dale.
I think some of them were really insanely bad, like the addiction specialists said that Dale introduced himself as Dale in the limo, and that there's only one Dale. It's the Dalai Lama. He didn't say that. I don't know what you're doing with that. Is that a joke?
That fell flat. I'm not gonna lie.
Addict riddled brain. He doesn't get punchlines.
So I will say the person who does get punchlines is Dear Bennett, who torches the hairless, beautiful ass of Dale. My favorite was "You look like the boa from the Jungle Book."
Yes.
I mean, unbelievable. So spot on.
Oh yeah.
His ears look like little slits. He looks like a snake.
Dale
He is a snake.
Perfect.
Hey, can I do a meanwhile here?
Yep.
Meanwhile, Claire gives us the definition of a good joke. Apparently, according to Claire, it's when you deliver a joke and it makes people laugh, but it doesn't hurt someone's feelings. She actually said that.
She does not listen to us.
No, she does not.
I bet she does now. So should we get to the nighttime?
Nighttime!
She begins what I believe to be a revenge campaign, and I'm calling it that because she begins with the head of the rebellion against Dale, that is Bennett. She has this terrifying calm rage talking to all these guys. Bennett's like, hey, we've talked about Dale kind of a ton, so if we could just get away from that. To which she responds, yeah, so what was the conversation that he was having when he said that he was the best suited for me? This is crazy.
Well, not to get ahead of myself, but essentially she does this with three more guys. Claire, Claire or Columbo?
She does. She does it with all of them. And I understand that she may be trying to root out any red flags about the only guy that she's infatuated with. But also, I'm going to take shit for this, but she's an emotional fucking toddler. She's incapable of restraining herself from talking to every other contestant about Dale. It's insane.
It's insane. And I loved what Bennett did, where he very politely and politically correct said, you know, we've talked about him a lot, but I'd like to get to know you more while we're talking. I thought that was a classy answer when Bennett wouldn't do it. And it seemed like all the other guys were on the same page. She'd basically just keep asking questions. But what about Dale? But what about Dale? They're like, yeah, I only have a little time with you. So where are you from?
She's a horrific bachelorette. But that's what makes her so fucking fantastic. So fantastic. She heads back to the guys who are talking about leaving the show and does not give out a single rose. That is where we finish.
Yes. By the way, she does a little gaslighting here too. It's because she acts mad.
Yes.
Like other people did something wrong. And back to that roast thing that happened, roast ceremony. That could have been a great reset button to get everybody on the same page and have a few good laughs and get the vibes going. But it did the exact opposite because she's an idiot.
Right. If it was Bristow, you know, they would have been chumming it up and joking around about how funny it was. But Clara starts a crusade.
Yeah.
Like an insane person.
For nice women, comedy is an aphrodisiac, and it was apparently not for her. And one last note, because I know we're wrapping up the show. I want to say this to the producers of The Bachelorette, or Bachelor, whatever. I love now an older person, not as old as Claire. Let's get in a sweet spot next casting, somewhere around 32 years old, who's not insane. That's the magic juice there, because I like how they're having real conversations because they're a little bit older and they're not just hungry for Instagram followers. That's the sweet spot, 32, 34.
The guy could probably be like the older range because he hasn't been crazy for not being able to have children yet.
Yes.
Yeah, but Ari was the right age. He's just not good.
Yeah.
And actually, I like to see it in retrospect.
Are they still together?
Yes, they just had a child.
Oh,
honestly, kind of cute.
All right, we'll be back next week.
Oh, thanks. You were here the whole time?
We'll be back next week with another brand spanking new episode of Another Bachelor Podcast. Whoop, grab the wire. We will see Claire depart next week, I believe. And we will welcome the beautiful Disney Princess Tasha to the fold. Remember, patreon.com/Another Podcast Network. We've got APS. That is our generic show where we just shoot the goof about everything. We checked out Peep This Out reviews of the Carl's Jr. Angus Cheddar Thick Bacon Burger, whatever the fuck it was called,
fun.
which was really fun. I mean, there's a wild corner of the internet out there.
I know that.
Hey, Dylan, can I step on your picture? Get over there, because you want to hear us more times than just once a week. Imagine we have literally 3 days of content. You could listen to us for 3 days and it wouldn't stop. stop. That's how much material we have over there. So you got to get over there.
We are very early in the canon of APS, but I do want to say I think that Carl's Jr. Bit is going to make a lot of best of lists in the future. Some compilations.
I was wondering if Pat thought my pitch to go check out that specific segment was a little too niche, but whatever. Go to patreon.com/Another Podcast Network. Jump in those iTunes ratings and reviews. Help us combat the cuckoos. We love you guys. We'll be back next week. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.